ladies and gentlemen, to the populace of Earth, I don't think we were prepared for how generational Symbiote Tom Holland might become. It's going to be, actually. If they do it right and, actually stand out properly, stand out from, Bully Maguire, we good. I want this to be the antithesis, or maybe the anti-Bully Maguire. The only live action one is like, wow, you're saucy, but also meme. I love Bully Maguire, but like, there's so much opportunity to stand out in this movie to make an actual Symbiote Tom Holland. If he keeps the symbiote in Secret Wars, because I don't know why I have this fear that he's not going to keep the symbiote. Like, oh, he's going to have the symbiote and then not keep it for another movie. Come on, Marvel. You're not going to do that, right? Right? So first of all, before we go any further, let's obviously highlight the only time Tom Holland has ever crashed out so far in the MCU. And that is, against Willem Dafoe. And that's really it. That's the only time we ever saw it. And we're like, whoa. There was one time I rewatched the scene or something. And one of the comments was like, don't give this man the symbiote. And I'm like, ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. I'm so weird. And that's actually start how you stand out from Tobey Maguire. Basically, easy. Don't try to look like a 2006 Hot Topic character. We're actually going for an all, like, just straight up a black shirt, maybe a black long sleeve or something, regular casual fit, like the cartoon one. Like, that'd be fun. Or the one in the video game. You can go for that. I'm the hero here, not you. Fit. Why not? Also, here's another thing. They technically did do in Spider-Man 3, but which is basically without consent. Him fighting people in his sleep should actually be a sequence in a live action movie. Because we've seen it in a video game, we've seen it in the cartoon. We just haven't fully saw it in a live action movie yet. And the only time we saw it basically was barely anything, was literally the moment Symbiote got on Tobey Maguire. And from that moment up to when he first woke up and saw the suit for the first time, that's the only time we've ever saw the suit use Peter in his sleep in live action. So I feel like there's a perfect opportunity to have a full-on sequence. It's like, the symbiote's like, hey, Peter, I'm just gonna use you without consent now. And then, he just goes out and crashes out against everybody. Now, before we go any further, I do want to highlight a list. This is not that kind of list. I want a list of the songs I want. Any of these that works in Spider-Man 5, I'm good with. I'm good. These songs fit the movie. And look, all I ask is a sequence, a Mission Impossible sequence in like some fancy schmancy kind of area with all the characters. And the scene is musically portrayed by Sao Paulo by The Weeknd. I just want to see that so badly. Like, a lot of times I listen to that song and I'm like, this could be Spider-Man 5. This could be a scene where Black Cat, Daredevil, and Spider-Man, and Hobgoblin, and Kingpin, and everybody just show Jean DeWolf, like everybody shows up in this one scene, or everybody's just having a sequence one after the other, and I'm like, this just works. I want to see it. All I ask is for that one scene. Now back to the Black Spider-Man.
The Black Spider-Man!
There's definitely some source material you can definitely have to crash out from. Spider Shadow is a good source. While the biggest source people are definitely going to reference, and he doesn't even have the symbiote, but he has a black suit technically, in cloth form, is Black and Black, where Peter's like, hey, Civil War, look at me. Kingpin be like, okay, hey, dude, go after his hand. That's totally not going to do anything to me, right? Oh. Yeah, and for that, Fisk, I threw hands, and people, and cars, and your face. I want to see that energy so badly in that movie. Now, there's only two other things I want so badly in this movie that is definitely money shots. Like, if you want money shots in this movie, or money sequences, here's the two things you need to do. Number one, Shocker. Now, I'm not saying do the actual scene, because I kind of wanted to happen again in Insomniac game, but it didn't happen. But here's what should happen in the actual movie. Instead of the church, you go after Shocker. Maybe it doesn't have to be Shocker. I want a symbiote Spider-Man horror movie sequence. We need a scene where basically all the thugs, or maybe Shocker, or whatever, all his gooners, get destroyed by Peter in the background. It's basically a stealth mission starring symbiote Peter Parker, and he's just taking out all the thugs. But you only see it from the perspective of Shocker, or as an example. And then he's just going around, he's like, what's happening? But then at the end, it's just him. The background. You don't see the suit or anything, or maybe you don't see you don't see the shape of Spider-Man. You just see the white eyes. Absolute peak right here. And secondly, I want a money shot. This is the money shot. A live action Kraven's Last Hunt. Not Kraven, no nothing. Just the out of the grave scene. Maybe he gets buried by some villains and he gets tired, but the symbiote's like, not today. And he's like, roar! Actually, going back to the horror movie scene, it'd be better if it was silent, but I won't mind if hearing like the Venom voice or something be like, run. Get back here, Shocker. Shocker. You can't escape me. I let you down to the end of the earth. But yeah, the money shot should be the grave shot in live action. That I would my heart would not take it. My heart couldn't take it, bro. I would lose it. I would lose it in the theater. Now, where does this crash shot come from? We obviously, if you actually watch my other videos about, this certain subject, I feel like part of it has to do with the fact that, hey, we went from a goblin, killing your aunt, to now a goblin taking your friend hostage or something, or bothering your friend, your best friend, well, once was your best friend, and it's like, oh yeah, that totally doesn't trigger you traumatically, right? Totally. Not to mention all the power and how much you want to be better Spider-Man with the symbiote power and all that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my grammar right now. Now, this is the craziest part of this whole video. This might be something Marvel, Disney, and Sony would not want to do, but it's something that works perfectly, and it technically has happened before, so it technically can work, but it's something that would be so different that would be, let's say, after everything he's been through. Anger and rage and all of the stuff he has to do to get through Hobgoblin or something. At some point, he loses complete sanity, right? His punches are getting harder and harder, and he has a killing blow. Now, you'd think he would just have one death punch to Hobgoblin. But no, we're going to pull a Spider-Man versus Wolverine, because we are actually going to have him accidentally punch some innocent person to death. Now, listen. Jean DeWolf's most famous story is the death of Jean DeWolf. So, why not have her be on Spider-Man's hands? That would be sad. I'm sorry. That's just too much. I know this might be the craziest take, but Marvel and Sony are not going to allow this at all. They're probably going to be like, no, we do not want our central character in a live action kill somebody or break his rules. Even though that technically has happened in the comics and he got over it. But, but hey, it did haunt him. Mainly aside from the fact that, oh wait, this is his breaking point. Okay, I need to get rid of the symbiote. Bye, I'm sorry. This could also be a way for, at the end of the movie, to be like, I'm just stopping Spider-Man. I'm just done. That, well, obviously until Spider-Man 6 happens, which I will pitch another day, but it's basically just and that's the end of it. I broke my no-kill rule. I'm too scared to don a costume anymore. I'm just done. I'm done. I'm just gonna focus on life. That's it. No more. Spider-Man no more. Starting to symbiote. But the reason why he quits fully is we're gonna reverse Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil. This is the big reason why Daredevil should be in this movie. Where basically, in Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run, at the end of Volume 1, where basically it's like Daredevil killed somebody. Spider-Man shows up in his apartment. He's like, hey, let's have a talk. Peter convinces Matt to give up being Daredevil. Imagine we Uno reverse that card in this movie. So Matt gets to talk with Peter, and it's like, hey, Peter, you need to stop. Hey, Spider-Man, you need to chill. It's okay. You can give up. And then Peter's like, fair enough, buddy. And then that's it. He gives up the suit, and that's it. Now, first of all, he has to get rid of the suit. Now, the easy solution is the bells in the church, but we technically did that. So what's the next best? My grammar. What's the next? What? What's the next best option? Fan 4 stick. Hey guys, I'm sorry. I just need to get rid of this. Bye. And then Bombastic Bat. Oh my god. You want to sell your toys? You want to sell your merch because you can't handle more than one suit in the movie. Hey, Symbiote and Bombastic Batman. Why not? That's your two suits right there. And then he leaves with those, and he's like, that's my emergency suit, and I leave. And that is the end of Symbiote Peter Parker. Now, he doesn't have to kill Jean DeWolf. He can just literally pull Spider-Man 3. Imagine Spider-Man 3 where Peter backhands Mary Jane. Just that, but the kill backhand. The lethal backhand to the point where it's just death. And because obviously people are like, Spider-Man's so powerful. Okay, prove it. Here it is. Prove it how powerful he is to punch someone to death. One punch person to death. You know what? You don't even have to kill the person. You could just have him knock someone out really badly to the point where you don't know if that person's going to live or die. And then at the end, he's like, okay, I'm going to give up being Spider-Man. But that person does end up still living, and he's like, okay, good. But I'm still quitting because I'm done. Because obviously Peter Parker is defined by his guilt. So, that's a good option to do all that. But however, there's only one thing I have left mentioned. You see, this whole time, I was talking about the symbiote. I never mentioned Venom. That's because Venom is not in this movie. Venom shouldn't be in this movie at all. Because in Spider-Man 6, the symbiote somehow escaped or something. But I want Spider-Man 6 to not have Venom. I want to have a Maximum Carnage plot, starring Carnage himself and Venom teaming up. But that's a story for another day. Thanks for watching, guys, for another episode of Seriapolot. I really hope you like my pitch, and hopefully at least Marvel actually executes some of the stuff I talk about. at the very least. And if not, then hope they come up with something better. I sound arrogant when I say that. I feel arrogant when I say that, but whatever. But yeah, with all that being said, you think Spider-Man 5 is crazy? My pitch for Spider-Man 6 is bonkers. It's kind of bonkers, but I'll get to that. That's a story for another day. So, thanks for watching, and have a great day.